There's this quote that I love that I found when I was in college that really helped me when I first started my fitness journey, and it is work on you for you. The minute you stop caring about what other people think of you, that's the minute you start caring for yourself. And this quote, work on you for you, made me realize that a truly confident person doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. And you know, sometimes if you have to fake it sometimes, that's okay. Keep faking it and keep doing it and showing up for yourself until it becomes second nature to you. So for example, okay, when I first started working out, I started my fitness journey, I don't even know how many times. Okay, I can't even count because that's how many times I've tried and failed. But it was because all those times that I tried and failed is because I wanted to work out and lose weight just so that other people would tell me that I look pretty or that I lost weight. And when you start working out for other people and not yourself, chances are you're gonna fall off. The whole idea of confidence, honestly, is trusting and valuing yourself. Okay, this is low-key a hard pill to swallow and it's gonna be a little harsh, but hear me out. No one is going to show up for you the way you can and will show up for yourself. You have to be your own biggest cheerleader. You have to tell yourself you're killing it, you're doing amazing, I'm so proud of you. You gotta cheer yourself on, hype yourself up.
Seeking validation is the fastest way to betray yourself, and in the process of doing so, not only are you saying you don't trust yourself, but you're saying that you rely on others to have better self-worth and that external opinions are more important than your own. And after a while of engaging with this behavior, not only will you lose yourself, you'll find it difficult to love yourself, and you could spend your entire life chasing others and still never feeling fulfilled because you haven't taken the time to build a safe, supportive, validating and loving home to come back to within yourself.
And then the very first practical habits, self-love habits that I've put down here on my notes would be for you to fully accept yourself the way that you are. Spirit, soul, body. Stop being judgmental about yourself. Accept yourself fully. And the one way that you can actually do this is do something very intentional. And how I was able to do mine was I went in front of the mirror. I stood there literally was nude in front of the mirror. And I just looked at myself from head to toe. And then I imagined not just my body, but my spirit and my mind. And so I brought my spirit and my mind and my body together in one place. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I accepted myself. And literally I said these words, I'm accepting myself the way I am. I know that I may have some things to still learn to better myself, but for right now, where I'm at this moment, I embrace myself fully, I accept myself fully.
Out loud. For quality time, you can go out by yourself, making time for a new hobby that you've been wanting to try. You could wind down or prepare for the day with like a morning or an evening routine. Quality time can also mean setting boundaries for yourself, or it can mean just going out and trying new things to give yourself an experience. And for gifts, yes, obviously you can buy things that you've always wanted, but you can also make yourself a healthy meal, use a face mask, do something that you've really been wanting to try. It does not have to cost money or be expensive. My friend Auden, who's this avid traveler, will send me postcards from whatever country she's visiting, and it makes me cry every time. So now, on occasion, I will send myself some snail mail. Yeah, I write letters to myself and send them. And it's really nice, you know? I'm cringe, but I'm free. And then for acts of service, you can put in the time to clean up or meal prep, anything that would take the burden off of what you've been worrying about, something that your future self would thank you for. And acts of service also does not have to be limited to you, but could be for you by doing community work or volunteer work. So as a personal example, my top love languages are gifts and quality time. So I receive and I give love in these languages. And that for me, that means like I buy myself flowers, I take myself out on solo dates to like restaurants to read, or sometimes I just go to the park or beach or have like a little day trip somewhere. I'll see plays that I'm interested in or go to museums that I want to visit. The point is that I make quality time for me and I show myself with my actions that I love myself, utilizing the love languages that mean the most. I mean, I practice all 5 love languages in my life, but you know, your girl's simple. She loves flowers. Tip number 2, change your self-talk to be loving, supportive, and nurturing. And this means policing your thoughts. So when your inner critic rears up and calls you ugly, you lovingly tell that bitch to fuck off because you know what? You're uniquely beautiful. When you're in an anxiety spiral, you self-soothe. And when you're hurt and angry, you validate yourself. In addition to providing yourself with loving actions and loving words, just become your own best friend.
My love for myself and my self-love comes from a point in which I understand that God made me just the way that he wanted to make me, and that I cannot align to and be a mirror to other people. I am humbled that God made me how I am. And so maybe sometimes if we put ourselves in the biblical sense of the understanding that God knows and honors all, and that he made and created us in his own image for his own knowing, that we accept what is. Now, on a more spiritual sense, we have to take account of how we show up and who we are and how we are. And we have to tweak it. We're not perfect. That's the thing about being people. We're not perfect. There are some things that we have to tweak, but at the end, it's how do I really feel about myself? Do I love that aspect of myself, or do I need a little bit more working into getting to where I need to go? Self-love is just appreciating, number one, the journey that you've gone through, and appreciating, how in which you have moved from one place to the next, and you see the growth within yourself. People see the growth within yourself. Self-love is also embodying all aspects of just who we are from the past, the traumas that we may have sat with and acknowledge the pain that we felt, and then a coming out of appreciating that journey and loving how it looks to us now.
Here on my list will be for you to set healthy boundaries. People will walk all over you if you do not have boundaries that you have put in place that protects you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's just human nature to take advantage of people who allow themselves to be used. And you don't want to be the one who is used. So you want to always ensure that you're setting healthy boundaries with regards to how people speak with you, or rather how people speak to you, how they respect you, how they value you, how they perceive you, and things like that. No one should come up to you and speak to you in a harsh, brash way just because you allow them. No one should be able to come to you and manipulate you. You need to set boundaries. When you don't want or like something, or you don't want something done, learn how to express yourself and communicate to whoever is doing it to you and say, I really don't like the way you're doing this. So there's a certain way to set healthy boundaries. And when the people around you know that you have set healthy boundaries, they tend to respect it a whole lot. And for those who will not respect your boundaries, perhaps it's time to kick their asses to the curb. But it's important for your well-being that you're setting healthy boundaries for yourself.
You want to visualize your goals. You want to have goals. Literally close your eyes and actually see yourself reach your goal. Your brain registers that as that's possible because I just saw it. So you have to actually physically put the work in and say, you know what? I will put the work in. Why am I going to put the work in? Because I want to reach this. I can and I will.
Self-schema is all about your self-image. It's about how you define yourself according to your personality traits, your behaviors, maybe even your physical traits. Every single person on this planet has a certain set of beliefs that contributes to their self-schema, to their self-image. You have to do everything in your power to build up a positive self-schema so that you are no longer seeking validation from others. Having a solid self-worth will prevent you from seeking external validation. So how do we do this? Identify your favorite parts of yourself. Really journey inwards to acknowledge how great of a person you are. All of the things, all of the qualities, things that you've done, achievements, just who you are as a person that makes you so effing amazing. Automatically, this will start helping you look at yourself in a positive light. And then after this, you are going to write down all of the negative perceptions you have of yourself. Once you have a list of your negative self-beliefs, you are then going to prove every single one of them wrong. And of course, I'm going to give you an example. So let's bring back Lola and Athena. Now, both Lola and Athena have the same negative self-belief, which is that they are not beautiful. They feel very unattractive. Lola listens to this negative self-belief, so she hides herself away. She hides her face in pictures. She chases other people because she thinks she's lucky when guys like her because because she thinks she's so ugly. She doesn't go after certain opportunities because she automatically assumes she'll be rejected from them because she's just not good enough. She's just not attractive enough for that. She allows her negative self-belief to control her life and the way she sees herself, and this ultimately leads to her seeking validation from everyone and thing. Now, Athena also believes that she's unattractive. Now, we all know this ain't true. Both of these women, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look, Athena is that girl, okay? But Athena has had this negative self-schema, this negative self-belief for her whole life. She just cannot see the beauty in herself. But she is sick of placing her worth in the hands of others, and she wants to do something about it. She is now on a mission to try and see herself in a different light, a much better, more secure light. So she starts experimenting. Which haircut suits her face shape the best? Which makeup products actually help effectively accentuate the great facial features she already has? She treats herself and buys herself a whole new wardrobe because playing with clothes is going to help her start stepping into her confidence. And when you do little things like playing around with hair, makeup, clothes, they provide that first step into confidence, and over time, once you've taken the first step, you can build yourself up to eventually feel confidence without having those things, without having the best outfit on or having your makeup done. And I speak from experience. Once she's experimented, she's got a new look, she's feeling a little bit better about herself. She locks herself in her bedroom and she decides to put on a little photo shoot of herself. She experiments with different lighting and angles. She really learns her face, what her favorite features are of her face and body, and she has fun with it. She experiments, she tries on a bunch of different clothes, she does some crazy things with her hair. She takes a bunch of photos of herself, and in doing so, she starts to see the beauty within herself. Lola and Athena are both stunning in their own different ways. The difference is Lola decided to listen to her negative self-belief and decided to live her life according to it. Athena wanted to prove that negative self-belief wrong. So she put on a photo shoot, she tried doing some different things, she experimented with her appearance because she was bored with it. She didn't like it. She thought, yes, I'll change it up. And that's what aided her seeing her appearance in a different light. Now she feels comfortable when somebody wants to take a picture of her. Now she started building up the confidence to wear out her favorite outfits in public and not want to blend into the crowd because she doesn't want to be seen. And my last point for this chapter is to look at who you are as your current self and nothing else. Start looking at yourself as the person you are now. Start acting like this morning when you woke up, that was the first day of your life, because I did this a lot. For years, even at 20, 21 years old, I was still viewing myself through the lens of who I was as my 15-year-old self, who was very awkward and nerdy and insecure, and she had a really bad self-perception. She had a bunch of negative self-beliefs that like no one would like her, boys wouldn't like her, she wasn't desirable or attractive. So even when I was 20 and I had my little glow up and I had done a bunch of other things to help grow my confidence, I was still looking at myself like I was my awkward 15-year-old self. But that's not true. I have grown, I have newfound wisdom, intelligence, beauty. I'm a whole different person. That's the beauty of self-growth. So the way to start seeing yourself as your current version is every morning you need to wake up like today is the first day of your life, and that's gonna help you stop bringing in past rejections, mistakes, cringy, embarrassing moments into your present life. It's gonna help you stop defining yourself through your past mistakes, through the past versions of yourself, who you also need to give forgiveness to because they were who they were and they acted the way they did because they had a certain level of awareness at that time. You have grown since then. You do not need to keep looking at yourself through the lens of your past selves because you're not that person anymore. You need to ask yourself, if I woke up today, if today was the first day of my life with the things I have, the things I've accomplished, and the newfound wisdom I have at this age, who would I be? What would I say? How would I act? What would I do? And go into your day like that.
What I know for sure is that the biggest choices begin and end with you, your internal big questions. Who do I want to be in the world? My relationship to source energy, to all that is God. I'm not talking about what you believe in God. I'm talking about your experience of that which is all life, which is divine and universal.